Welcome to my favorite spot to film here in Lucerne. This is the site of all those clips that I got back in 2021, where I got like the Kiwi Men's 8 going by. That was just the Kiwi Men's Quad. It feels a little bit like home. But welcome to day 2 of the final Olympic and Paralympic qualification regatta. Today we have semis and reps, which will determine who will be fighting for those final qualification spots. Yeah, China. Here we go. We're here above the boat park as it dies down after the second to last practice session before finals starts tomorrow. The men's single quarterfinals seeding the A, B, or CD semifinals started off the morning with semifinals only, about 3-ish hours after the quarterfinals. So Ireland, USA, Norway, Romania, Great Britain, and Italy will be fighting for those 2 spots. I am so happy for Jacob. I cannot get over how well he was getting on this regatta and how he stepped on this whole year.
Another one tomorrow.
One more, baby.
More. It was fun to be a part of. Damn. Crazy.
Yeah, dude. A final.
Yeah.
You got the ticket to play.
Wild. Dreams alive.
Dreams alive. Well done, buddy.
Thanks. Good race.
The men's B final will now be home to the 3rd qualification spot, which is the only reason that they have any lower level finals at this regatta right now. So that 3rd spot is because of the host country allocation spot being removed because France already qualified some boats for the Olympics. The para singles going for 1 spot and the PR2 mixed double going for 2 spots both had their reps where the bottom boats were cut from the regatta. Egypt and Nigeria on the women's side, Netherlands and the Czech Republic from the men's, and the PR2 double from Turkey, unfortunately, were cut. The men's pairs saw a semifinal with the Lithuanians, Germans, Norwegians, Dutch, Danish, and Serbians getting into the A final. Will we see a repeat of 2021 with the Denmark and Netherlands getting through and going to the Olympics? Don't know. There's some fast boats in that event. The women's double had a rep where the last place was the only one eliminated, which means they had 7 total boats in this regatta, and that unfortunately was Hong Kong. The men's doubles were semifinals where we'll see the Serbians, Greeks, Swedes face off against the Americans, Moldovans, and Australians. Ben and Soren, again with the fastest time, followed closely by Moldova. If Serbia qualifies, it's kind of hard to explain this, but their singles place that they qualified at Europeans will get reallocated to the next highest ranking European country in the single, whose country has not qualified more than 1 boat at the Olympics. So I have no idea who's in the running for that. If they qualify, they still just actually have to qualify, and then a bunch of other stuff gets sorted pretty easily. So the men's 4s had reps. Ukraine, Denmark, South Africa, and Germany will be joining Italy and Switzerland in the final. For the women's singles, semis worked out that Ireland, Switzerland, and Slovenia will be going up against the might of Spain, Czech Republic, and Japan. Slovenia has essentially booked their place to the Olympics with that 3rd spot, being that they have not qualified any boats, and they're the next highest ranking, or they are the highest ranking boat, and they're the only one that's eligible for that spot in the A final. We'll see how their counterpart does in the men's B final, because both can't be chosen, I think. So, I don't know. If you're confused, that's okay. I'm confused. Many people are confused. It's hard to figure out. The lightweight women's doubles was a tight race with Uzbekistan and Indonesia getting the axe. So the Greeks and the French will be joined in the A final by Spain, Switzerland, Australia, and Italy. On the men's lightweight double side, Austria and Portugal got through to the final. Austria had an insane last 500. Sam and Coop from the US were leading at the 1500, but then got beat by technically Portugal by 0.07 seconds. Sam Cooper leading at the 1500, and it was nip and tuck all the way down, and I feel for them, man. Rounding off the morning races was Ukraine and France in the men's quad, who will join the US, Australia, Norway, and Estonia. You want to come say something, Timo? How's it going?
Pretty good. It's pretty good. We're very, very happy. If I look out here on the boat park and I think about the fact that when I first got here Monday last week, it was completely empty.
Yeah.
And now, everything's set up. Everyone's here. Everything's running smoothly. We've had 2 excellent days of racing so far.
Yeah.
The weather's been okay. And now we're very, very excited for the first finals day tomorrow.
What has been the most surprising thing for you this regatta so far?
The most surprising thing? Oof, that's a very tough question. Also considering that I didn't really have time to follow much of the racing.
Yep.
yeah, I'd have to check in, but of course I've been looking out for the Swiss crews, and I'm very happy to see that all four that are still in the run made it to the finals. So
Yeah, so far so good.
That's good news. You know, it's
That men's
always,
four is looking speedy.
yeah, that men's four, they definitely showed a very solid race. So I'm happy about that. And yeah, considering the constellation in that men's team, I think everyone, especially the men's squad, will also be rooting for the men's four. So that hopefully, you know, there's not going to be any more changes in that in those boats.
Yeah, Janine Gamellon moved into the double now. I love that. I love seeing her back on this course racing.
No, it's definitely,
Especially with Rob's Hood Coffee down below. It's awesome.
It's so that has been quite an emotional story from what happened last year, from the way she dealt with it with Rob's Hood, which was it was a very important project for all of us here, very emotional. And now to see her back in the game, but Rob's Hood's still going on with her sister taking over, but just to see her enjoying rowing and having a good time, being integrated in that Swiss team that has an amazing team spirit. And I think that's excellent. That's very, very beautiful to watch.
Sure. Now, Aurelia Maxima, I just love seeing a swift boat with Macon blades. It is hilarious. I was watching her in the warm-up with some slow-mo footage just to study for myself to see how those blades slip in and lock in just in a totally different way than hatchets.
She seems to be very comfortable, and I've heard many discussions, and people keep saying, what would happen if she would step in a proper boat?
Okay, so I saw her
blades?
hop into one of those boats at Worlds last year in like the practice times. And she like hopped out and immediately went back out and her on single. She was so much more comfortable.
For her, it's very clear. I'm sure she could be just as fast in a without Macon blades, but
1 or 2 seconds behind Sunita.
Well, there you go.
They had the 2 fastest times of the women's doubles or singles. So
wouldn't that be a story?
That would be. To see Macon blades racing in the Olympics would be incredible.
It'll make for some nice transition shots with the 48 Olympics. With the last Olympics in Paris.
That's so right.
Yeah.
You've got this little setup down here with the athletes coming down, not off the dock to get the celebrations, but down here. That's going to be an interesting differentiation compared to last Olympiad.
When we look at the broadcast product of our rowing events, we need to get away from the victory ceremony race mode because it's just not attractive enough for the TV product, for the broadcast product that we're generating. And other sports are doing the same, right? They have a short flower ceremony, and then that also gives you the opportunity to turn the victory ceremony into something bigger and to combine it with other cultural and, you know, with a concert, with other things. You can move the location, you can put it in the city center, you can, all of that's not easy, but and all of that is what we're trying to do for the World Champs in Lucerne in 27.
Yeah, 2027, they're going for the bid. But I think that would be really, I mean, it'd be awesome to have Worlds here. It's one of the most incredible venues, and you guys are already one of the most important venues with the final Olympic and Paralympic qualification regatta here. So it just makes sense for the qualifying Worlds to be here.
I think it would be.
So make sure they get your national organizing committee to go out and vote.
Make some pressure.
Yeah, get some pressure.
That of course. We're going for it, and we're really. It's been a very intense year from the end of the last World Cup to now this doubling up the 2 regattas now with the introduction of the full para program, which we've invested a lot of time and resources in to make sure that all the athletes feel comfortable here, and then at the same time the World Champs bid, and we really want to do it, get it right, and there's a lot of different stakeholders that need to be on board for that.
Each year it just seems to somehow get a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better.
Well, that's one of the big advantages that we have, that we're every year we get the chance every year to up our game, to change things, to improve things. And over the last 2 years there's been a lot of changes in the background in the organization, and that now gives us the strength and the mobility to change things that you then can actually see on site. So that's really good. And to come back to the FOPQR victory ceremony, I told World Rowing I don't want to have a victory ceremony on a Tuesday morning in front of an empty grandstand. It wouldn't be the right thing for
what these
for the
athletes go through to get that spot.
It just wouldn't be right. What I can definitely say is that from the OC side, we really tried our best to get those images out in the world and to show people what's happening here on this lake.
Awesome. Well done.
Thank you.
And hope it goes as smoothly as it should tomorrow.
Thanks, yeah.
The stage has been set for tomorrow. Now we wait for 2 hours of racing tomorrow that will decide the 30-odd boats that will be going to Paris. Rain is on the forecast, and it's going to be another cinematically climactic day of finals here in Lucerne, Switzerland for the final Olympic and Paralympic qualification regatta. Be sure to tune in to the World Rowing channel tomorrow to watch results live. It's going to be a barnstormer for some of these events, and I'll be sat right behind the finish line getting those incredible reactions of boats crossing the line going to the Olympics.